All right, now we continue, please, Mr. Victor.
I just have a few more questions. The TSG, who was the majority owner of it?
By the Secretary of State's office. It does not list a percentage ownership. It shows organizers and members. For the TSG, the organizer was Natalie Cochran, and a member was Michael Cochran.
Was there ever any document or any agreement or anything that would suggest that Natalie Cochran was the 51% majority owner and Michael Cochran was 49% minority owner, with the daily production to be his responsibility?
There are documents that indicate ownership percentage.
Okay. And that would be the percentage that you would recall from memory? 51-49?
There are financial documents wherein Natalie Cochran claimed to be 100% owner of TSG. There is one document that is a handwritten application for a financial loan where she listed herself as 51% and Michael Cochran as 49%. Otherwise, the remaining documents pertaining to financial transactions that we reviewed, she claimed to be 100% owner of TSG.
Okay. Tell us about their office. What did their office look like?
They had a storefront located on North Eisenhower Drive.
Okay. Secretaries?
No. Not that I'm aware of.
Any equipment that would suggest it's a running office?
It was new in relation to his death, but there was computers in the office. There were office space.
Well, where was that office established?
The physical location.
Yeah, the TSG. You know.
It was the building was purchased in January 2018.
By whom?
Natalie Cochran and Michael Cochran.
Okay. And then the business was named TSG, and the front was devoted to that business, right?
The store?
The front store or whatever it was.
It had signage.
Okay.
Indicating the same signage and logo that were used on their website is the same signage that was used on the storefront.
Would you agree with me that, however, that most of the businesses was done online? Well, they didn't have a secretary. They didn't have anybody to welcome.
There was no legitimate business that was completed online or otherwise. So there was the appearance of a legitimate business.
I see.
And they were registered. It's our belief, that when this company was created, it was a good business plan. It was created legitimately, legitimate credentials, legitimate application and certification. It had the potential to be a legitimate business, but it never conducted any legitimate business.
Right. All right. That's all I have. Thank you.
Redirect Mr. Truman.
Thank you. Defendants, one, please. Any what's been admitted as defendant's exhibit 1. That's your letter to Jeff?
Yes, it is.
Okay. April 1st of 2019. When did you open this investigation?
March 8th, I believe, was when we opened it.
Did you open it as soon as Trooper Marsh talked to you about it?
No, I had two conversations with Trooper Marsh. An initial call in which he tried to explain that he had a situation he didn't know how to deal with, and he gave me some, and that was on March 8th, and he gave me some initial facts. And I said, well, I need more information. So he went back to his complainant, the local business person, who then gave him more information, and I spoke with Trooper Marshall on March 11th. It was after my discussion with him on March 11th that we started exploring the opening of the investigation into the.
So, after March 11th, you'd had roughly 3 weeks before you wrote this letter. Had you done any investigation before then?
That was part of the research and investigative efforts coordinating with the special agent of the federal government.
Did you know much about the Cochran's business as of April 1st of 2019?
No, we were still collecting factual records, identifying people. We were collecting information. We made no assumptions of who was guilty or not guilty of anything. It had the appearance of a legitimate business. So that was early in the investigation. It's our responsibility to collect information as part of that investigation, and that is part of those evidence or information collecting efforts, that correspondence. Simply put, the agent asked me to request the information I was seeking from him on department letterhead, and that's why it has the superintendent's name and the letterhead of the agency.
Okay. You were soliciting assistance
Yes.
and explaining what you were going to try to accomplish.
He was a federal government special agent. These were federal government contracts, so we needed a federal resource to explore contracts down the federal database.
Your Honor, I'm
Area.
going to object as on grounds of relevancy. I think we've been through this fraud case a long time. There's nothing to do with murder.
And what's been admitted as Defendant's Exhibit 3. Is that a document from the West Virginia Secretary of State?
No, it's not.
Is it a private company that printed that information?
The website is the federal registration database where you would go in and make application for federal licensing and federal registration is what that appears to be.
Well, it's a private company, isn't it? This particular website. That's not a government agency, is it? It's not a .gov.
I'm going to object to the leading nature of these questions.
Is it a .gov address?
No, sir.
With all the questions about what Michael Cochran knew and didn't know, do you have any evidence that he knew that this was a fraud being carried on?
No.
That's all the questions the state has. Thank you.
Recross, Mr. Victor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Sir, you may step down. Thank you.